I'm excited to have you here today. All right, so you're in the building. Hey, welcome. Happy Monday. I see you. I see you, Doc. I see you, Dr. Harvin. How you doing? We need to connect. I see you, Deb. I see you all. All right, so I'm glad you're here because today we're talking about how to make today's marriages work. Three secrets revealed. All right, so thank you all for coming in. Brandon, thank you for buying a badge off the rip. I appreciate it, man. Today I'm gonna help you all. This has been on my spirit, y'all. Listen, y'all about to get some good stuff today. Y'all about to get some good stuff today. We're talking about how to make marriages work. Three secrets revealed. And why am I doing this? Because if you haven't noticed, marriages have become more difficult, right? And you see this movement when people say, I don't even know if I want to get married, right? I don't even know if I want to get married because I hear people talking about marriages and you may be concerned, but here's the reality, right? We're built to be relational. We're built to be in relationship with someone. And we need the tools to make marriage work because if you are single and you don't want to be single, that is a tough thing to be if you don't want to be it. It's like being broke and you don't want to be broke. The way your finances are set up, you don't like being broke, right? You can't do it. Or if you want to be fit, y'all listen, I went out of town, I went out the country and I gained a bunch of weight. And when I came back, I didn't feel right at the higher weight. I didn't feel right at 8, 10 plus pounds. I didn't want to carry it. I lost it. Deb, thank you for buying a badge. I appreciate it, right? I thank you, Ebony, for joining. I thank everyone for coming in. So let's dive into it because I know y'all wondering, all right, like, what is it? Like, how do we do this? How do we make today's marriages work? And here's the thing is that what we want out of marriage has absolutely changed. It's not that the institution of marriage it has been downgraded. It's what happened is that women and men actually want different things out of marriage. I see you, Jalen, right? Out of marriage. I see you, Charles, right? I appreciate we want different things out of marriage, like what our parents wanted, what our grandparents wanted, what you saw on the Cosby Show, what we thought it was supposed to be. It's not that today. And I'm going to give you the three things revealed according to the research. Meaning, like when we sat there and we polled couples, we we're like, what's going on? What's making one couple commit and another couple say, I want to decommit. I want to end this. I want to move on. And y'all, it's legit. Oh, I want y'all to get it. It's legitimate. Like when you sit down and you listen to them talk about what went wrong in their relationships, in their marriages, it is legit. Meaning the couples who stayed together had these three things, and the couples who didn't were either missing one of these three things, two of these three things, or three of these things. And so the marriage was doomed to fail from the very beginning. All right, let's go because I know y'all don't have much time. All right. So those of you who don't know, my name is Dr. Aldo Antar. I am a Christian licensed clinical psychologist, which means I do this every day and I come from a faith base. And I've been dealing with couples for over 23 years, y'all. So I've been on fire. God has convicted me saying, teach the people, Aldo. Don't keep all this in the office. Teach the people. I'll deal with the details. So that's what I'm doing. All right. So make sure y'all ask y'all questions. So let's dive into number one. Are you ready? Are you ready? Let me give you some statistics first. All right. The divorce rate is around 50%. I don't care if you're a believer or not a believer. It's about the same according to the recent statistics. I think the church community is a little bit lower and on the decline, actually, meaning like the divorce rate is actually going down because of things like this, right? Because of a concerted effort to help couples out proactively, right? 35% for first marriages and about 65% for second marriages, right? And a lot of that time is because of trauma, blended families, and those work. All right, blended families work, but you know what you're doing, right? So I'm not focusing on the failure rate. I'm focusing on 65% success rate for first marriages and 35% success rate for second marriages. What do they do? All right, I see you. B is saying I chose to wait until I get married to know my wife, so it has to be Christ based. I agree, right? You have to know. You have to know who your spouse is, right? All right, I see you, Zarana. I see you, truly blessed. I appreciate it. All right, so let's dive in. Are y'all ready? I'm gonna tease y'all today. If y'all ready to know these three things, y'all, so I'm not giving y'all fluff. These are three things that make people want to connect. I see you, Corey, my high school buddy. All right, that make people want to commit in relationships. So the researcher's name is Dr. Carol Rustbelt. So y'all understand where this is coming from. And she's done a lot of work in saying when we look at couples, what makes one couple commit through problems and the other couple not commit? What makes them break and what makes them stay? So without further ado, let's get into number one. Number one, y'all. Number one makes couples to stay or go is the satisfaction level of each spouse. Type that in the chat. Satisfaction level of each spouse. This was not a thing for our parents and definitely not our grandparents. It was, can we survive? Can the man traditionally bring home the paper and the wife hold down the house? Or with us, our grandparents, with our parents, can we both contribute to the income in some shape, form, or fashion, however that works, right? And do family well? Can we keep the family together? But modern day, today's marriages, y'all tell me if I'm wrong, people want to be happy in the marriage. That they don't want the granddaddy had two sets of kids over here. Wife and I are not friends, don't talk, don't do anything together. We just kind of come together and do half on the kids. Today's people, I don't care if you've been married 20 years, 30 years, 1 year, you pre-marriage, you don't want to be unsatisfied in your marriage. You don't want. All right. So no, we're not talking about just sex. We're talking about satisfied in general. Like I'm gonna give you some questions. Are y'all ready? Y'all ready to roll? I came prepared. All right. I came prepared. This is how we assess satisfaction level. All right. So like when you sit down and you ask a couple on a scale of 1 to 10, how satisfied are you with your end of the marriage? Like what you're receiving? That is a question a lot of people don't even get to think about asking, right? Ashley is like, yeah, the satisfaction level of each spouse. Like, like we didn't get a chance to ask that. Like, how many of you would dare sit down with your spouse and say, hey, babe, on a scale of 1 to 10, rate me with how satisfied you are with me as your husband or your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your fiance, right? All right. Oh yeah, I see my brother Lloyd talking about. I'm not going live talking about what happened on the riverboat right now. That happens in marriages sometimes, right? But we're not gonna go there, right? We're not gonna go there. But that's a whole nother psychology about how Trump has convinced people, our Caucasian brothers and sisters, that they're going to go extinct in 2050. Look it up. They are scared over this conspiracy of what they think is going to happen in 2050, and they are afraid that they're going to be eradicated. Have no power, right? But let me focus. All right. All right. So let's talk about it. All right. Here are the questions. So on a scale of 1 to 10, you get to rate this. Question number 1: I feel satisfied with our relationship. I feel satisfied with our relationship. I feel satisfied with our relationship. Number 2, my relationship is much better than other relationships. Not only relationships that you're comparing yourself to, but relationships that you're in, that you've been in before, like your ex, right? I'm for real. We do that, right? Someone says it's important to ask before marriage about expectations. All right, and Paulette said I do ask my better half how satisfied they are. Number 3, my relationship is close to ideal. Number 4, our relationship makes me happy. Number 5, our relationship does a good job of fulfilling my needs for emotional and physical and sexual intimacy. Woo! If I didn't say a handful right there, I did the Ric Flair on y'all. I did the Ric Flair. Right? Can you really say that? When we start talking about satisfaction level in relationships, people don't even have that conversation. I have couples come in this office and they're like, man, I've never even asked that. I've said I'm unhappy, but I've never rated it. So what I need you to do, fam, is I need you to write these things out. I need you to say, look, this is my satisfaction level, and I need you to keep it 100. Right? Keep it 100 with your partner so they know, like, wow, I'm a 7 and you're a 3. Right? That does not work. The person that's a 3 is going to bow out of the relationship in some shape, form, or fashion. They're either going to sabotage it, they're going to be passive aggressive, they're going to file for divorce, they're going to emotionally disconnect, they're going to act out. You can't have a 7 and a 3 in the same relationship. And we used to think that's the case. And it goes both ways. It goes both ways. It's like a woman thinking, okay, my husband's not going to leave because he's not going to abandon me and the kids. But that husband feels like a 2 or a 3 in a relationship and he has a stick in that thing. No, no, husbands cannot do that. This world is so stressful. Men can't do it anymore. It's at a cost. If they do it, it's at a cost. It's at an emotional cost. That man's gonna get sick. That man's gonna act out. That man's gonna be with someone else. That man's gonna be bitter. That man's gonna be angry. That man's gonna be moody. It comes at a cost. Same thing with a woman. It's like, look, I'm asked my man to be romantic, to go on dates, to satisfy what I'm looking for. I want emotional intimacy. I like to connect. And you come home and get on the phone and just watch the game. We never go on dates. We never go on vacations. We never go on marriage retreats. We never kiss. We never make love. Romantically, it's always something else. It's not satisfying to me. You don't let me get mine. You always get, you get what I'm saying? Women can't tolerate that. What they'll do is wait for the kids to get to a certain age and they'll bounce, right? Or they'll be upset or angry. Even if you do stay, you'll be unhappily married. You'll be married but single. You'll be married, sleeping in separate bedrooms out of no choice, because how can I stay emotionally connected to someone who doesn't satisfy me? I'm only going to be mad and agitated. So let me separate from you emotionally and stay within the marriage, stay within the household, right? But let me just emotionally disconnect. That's not a good place to be. And some couples have done that out of necessity. I'm just keeping it real for you. I'm just keeping it real, and I don't want it to be that way. So husbands, wives, boyfriend, girlfriends, wherever you are, fiancés, you need to check the satisfaction level. So let me newsflash. You can't just say, oh, we married now. Honor the institution of marriage. No. Honor the verb of marriage. Honor the vows within the marriage. Honor the way Christ wants you to do the marriage. Which means your better half has to be happy. They have to be happy. People say, oh, marriage is not about happy. Who marriage? How that's going to work? Quoting Uncle Steve, how that's gonna work? If you're not happy in your marriage, how that's gonna work? Then you have single people looking at you, see, that's exactly what I don't want, is to be trapped in something just for a ring, right? For a ceremony. And it doesn't feel good. That is over, y'all. That era of marriage is over. OVA. It's over. It's over. People can't do it anymore. And I'll tell you how they tap out. Someone will try to stay in it, and the stress will be so high, their health will start to break down. And then you'll meet with a doctor like me, and I'm saying, do you want to be alive and healthy, or do you want to be in this toxic marriage? So y'all never had a conversation like that. You're like, oh, yeah. Well, what about the Bible? And I'm a Bible believer. But if we don't do marriage the way the Bible says, you force someone to make a decision to where they have to say, man, my health or the sanity of my mind are disrupting the kids, right? I'm so unhappy. I have an ulcer. That ain't no. We need to have a blissful marriage. So y'all got it? Can we do this? Can y'all rolling with me on this? Can we go satisfaction level? Can we have a dope marriage? My wife and I have a rule. If we drop below 7, intervention time. Intervention time. And my wife would say, why are you at a 6? I'm like, babe, I told her this other day. I said, babe, I asked you to do something 3 times in a row. And the 4th time, if I say it strongly, you don't get mad. But why do I have to say it 3 times? This morning, my wife said, babe, come here and give me a kiss. Right? We were dropping the kids off on the first day of school, right? And I walked to my car and didn't give her a kiss. She said, babe, I don't want to have to tell you again to give me a kiss. I don't want to have to feel like I'm begging you to give me a kiss. Right? And I was like, ooh, she's like, I've told you that. You're talking about 3 times. I need you to be see, my wife and I, we're afraid of divorce. So we do talk about divorce. I know y'all saying, what? Yeah, we do. Because if we talk about divorce, I don't mean like throw it out there like we're going to get divorced. But I mean like, are you afraid of divorce? Like if we drop below that 7, what's coming next? Like for real, we get to a 6 and a 5 and slippage. No, no, no. We said no, we don't want to get to a point where we feel like it'd be better off divorce. So as soon as we have as soon as someone's dissatisfied, let's make rapid and perfect adjustments. Let's not have this big time intervention. My wife wanted a kiss. I went back. I doubled back and gave her a kiss. All right. My wife made a schedule, a list at home of things that I've reminded her to do. Right. Because we went out of town. I put some new systems in place. That's me. I'm that guy. She came back in, was messing up the system. I was like, look, I got the kids trained for school. You were out. You were doing the corporate thing. I love you. We have a routine around here. Get into the routine. All right. And she forgot 3 days in a row. All right. So we're making those adjustments so that we can stay above an 8. How many of y'all would want to do marriage? Keep it a buck with me. How many of you would want to do marriage if you could be guaranteed to drop no lower than a 7 in your marriage? No longer. No, we don't get below a 7. Mm-mm. So your marriage stays at 7, 8, 9, 10 the entire time you're married. Maybe a period where it drops down, something happens, and y'all go back up. Right? I see you. All right. And I appreciate you being real, Ebony, says I don't want to be married and single. So I'd rather be at a 7, 8, 9, or 10. Don't want to be miserable. Right. Or I appreciate So let's deal with it. Right. Sherelle said, deal with the molehill versus the mountain. You know what? You don't know how smart you are. I'm gonna call you Dr. Reed, because what the research says is better to deal with 5 small problems than one big problem where you let all 5 things you don't like about your spouse out. Don't do that. Because it feels like a bazooka. It feels like an AK-47. I don't like the way you make love. I don't like the way you wear your jeans. I don't like the way you cook chicken. I don't like the way you handle business. And I don't like the way you manage the family. Now y'all ain't said anything for 2 months, but then when you've had that knockdown drag out, you make the person feel blindsided, and you actually traumatize them because it makes them question their judgment and their assessment of the marriage. Like, what marriage have I been in? Like, we just made love last week, but we made love last week, and you ain't like the way I like my jeans. You don't like the way I cook. You don't like the way you don't like the way I looked in the last fight. Oh my goodness, that's too much. It's best to say, hey, babe, you know what? Um, hey, you know how I like your body. Let's go to the gym together. All right. Say it right then and there so they know. All right. I'm gonna keep it pushing, y'all. All right. So y'all got it. Have I convinced y'all of satisfaction level? All right. Number 2 is investment. I got y'all on the live. I'm gonna share it. So I know y'all have to go to work. I got you. I know this is critical, so y'all can watch this with your spouse. Number 2 is investment size in a relationship. Investment size, meaning today's marriages want 2 partners who are putting in work on the marriage. No more LeBron James, no more Steph Curry's, no more Oprah Winfrey's, no more Michelle Obama's, no more MVPs in a relationship. Modern day marriage, today's marriages, family, want 2 people who are equally invested in this thing. Meaning, I'm putting in what you're putting in. We might be putting in different things, but when we look back and we say, how invested are you in making this marriage a 7, 8, 9, or 10? We can say, oh, we both go hard. We go hard in different ways. Now, let me give you criteria for investment size. All right. And let me tell you why this is important. Couples who have invested a lot in their marriage, it's hard for them to divorce. If you all want what's called a sticky marriage, if y'all want a sticky marriage, I mean, that thing is sticky. It's hard to unstick it. You have to have a lot of investment size. And what investment size, man, is the things that you're doing, right, Drew? Equal energy, right? Like, we're both coming at this thing. Like, my wife and I are both borderline anxious about getting a divorce. Like, look, babe, okay, what you doing? What I'm gonna do? I can't have you doing no 3 things, and I'm not doing my 3 things. I want to make sure that both of us are building this marriage up to make sure this thing works. Because we scared of these statistics. We can be in these statistics too. These statistics don't care about our last name. They don't care that I'm a minister. They don't care that I'm a psychologist. They don't care about your family. They don't care about your legacy. They don't care about any of that stuff. If we don't do the things that successful marriages do, we're going to be in that number 2. And I don't want it. So investment size, right? So think about it. If you're invested, so what does investment mean? I'll give you the 5 questions. All right. 1, I put a great deal into my relationship that I would lose. Let's park right there. How much would you lose if your relationship broke right now? Whew, my goodness. Just thinking about that makes me want to cry. Right? Financially, I would lose half. I would lose access to my children every day. I would lose reputation, especially to you guys. As far as credibility, it's not fair, but it's true. I would lose joined family outings. I would lose friends that we mutually have that would probably go their separate ways. I would lose our marriage ministry. I would lose our marriage conference. You get so you get what I'm saying? Ooh, whew. All right. Number two, compared to other people I know, I have invested a great deal. I'm gonna check that. Can y'all check that? I have invested a great deal, y'all. All right. I have gobs of books. I read this research not only to educate y'all, but to educate myself. I want to make sure that we are dope at marriage, right? I want to be amazing. I've invested a lot of time, effort, and energy to learn about what makes marriages work every single day. This is always changing, right? Three, I feel very involved in our relationship and like I've put in a great deal. Yes. Have you put in a great deal? I mean, have you also planned marriage retreats? Have you done a couples devotional? I'm gonna tell you all about that. I'm planning that now. Matter of fact, mark your calendars for August 27th, 28th, 29th. I'm doing a 3-day couples prayer challenge, y'all. It is gonna be amazing. I have an amazing curriculum. You are gonna be blessed. All right, I'm building the website out today and tomorrow. So you'll have a link for that. I'll send it. I'll post it. So be on the lookout for that. I'll drop it. But investment size. Why am I doing that? Because my wife and I sit up here and sponsor a 3-day couples prayer challenge. What you think is gonna happen in our marriage? We gonna be going through the same curriculum that y'all going through, practicing it, getting the Bible study, making sure the things that we're preaching we're actually doing. We pause to do the exercise, we doing them too. All right, number four, many aspects of my life have become linked to my partner. Ooh, this is the sticky part. Come on now. Come on now. Come on with me. Come on with me, Drew. Come on with me, Sherelle. Come on. Come on with me, Nicole. Let's go. Meet. Let's go. How connected are you? Do y'all walk together? Do you go to church together? Do you pray together? Do you go to the kids' school together? Do you post online together? Do you do the family? Do y'all host family events? How linked? Do y'all have a business together? Do y'all get when things are linked like this? Do you know how hard it is to divorce? I mean, my wife and I would have to dissolve. One, two, three businesses would have to be dissolved. Three businesses would have to be dissolved. Right? We're linked up with the kids, right? So we'd have to have different days of the week we see the kids. We'd have to go to different churches. Who want to go to the same church where you see your spouse all the time? I would lose one of us gonna lose our church family. Do you get what I'm saying? Too many things are linked. We have too many things that are linked together, right? And then number five, my relationship with friends and family members would be complicated if we were to split. Are y'all getting it? I mean, like imagine every time, how many of y'all show up and they be like, "Where's Aldo? Hey, where's Mecca?" Like you can't go out as a married couple or engaged couple without your better half. Or without, do you get it? So when you're in a marriage family, when you're getting married, we need to start with level of satisfaction constantly. We always need to stay above a 7. All right, and immediately make changes. And then two, the investment size. We both have to we both have to I had a misspelling. Sorry about that. We both have to make sure that the investment size is equal. Are y'all with me? Are y'all with me? That we're both going hard on this. We're both doing this. We're both coming up with ideas of how it could be better. And that's typically been reserved for our ladies, for the wife. Men, we can't do that anymore. It cannot be one partner that's trying to save the marriage and the other person is just like shooting everything down. No, what's your responsibility for making sure that I am good? What's your responsibility for making sure that we are good? No, men, I'm telling you, this is why women are filing for divorce at a record clip. It's not that they dishonor marriage, not the fact that they don't honor men anymore. They're tired of working. They've worked too hard. They're asking you to co-participate in the marriage. They're at, why can't we go to the financial planner to talk about our finances? Why don't I go on my own? Why can't we go talk to the person about life insurance? Why can't we go to counseling? Why are you shooting down counseling when you know we're below that 7 and you're not recommending going to a marriage retreat, a pastor, reading a book, looking at a video? You're recommending nothing. You're doing none of the work and all the complaining and probably doing most of the damage. And that can go both ways. That can go both ways. Why are you holding that husband hostage out of morality that he's not want to break the family, but you do absolutely nothing to make him happy or make the family happy, working your temper, get better, evolve, do whatever. It goes both ways, right? You feel what I'm saying? Y'all get it? And so I'm saying this out of love so that you know, because people come in and say we're getting a divorce and the man is all sad, and he's like, how could you do this? How could you do it, brother? You didn't satisfy her and you made no investment in the marriage. How can that work? That's cruelty. That's cruel and unusual punishment. Same thing. This man right here is asking you calmly, baby, can we do some things differently? I'd like to be satisfied in a certain way, and you don't satisfy his way of life. It's all about you. It's all about you. Every time you get mad, he has to deal with it. He's not going to go anywhere because he doesn't want to, he doesn't believe in divorce, but you make him stay, and then you don't have the same investment in controlling your temper. You don't have the same investment in the marriage. You don't have the same investment in holding the marriage together. You just holding him hostage. That ain't fair. That's not fair to either spouse. Are y'all getting it? Does this make sense? Can y'all see why relationships are breaking? Can y'all see this stuff y'all have never heard? And so what's happening is, Nicole, I'm not dramatic, right? All right, okay, I am dramatic. Anyone that knows me, I'd rather be dramatic than boring. All right. So y'all get it? Like this is what's destroying us. And if we could circle back and see what's destroying us, then we could say, oh, okay, I get it. It's not just about honoring the ring, it's about honoring the satisfaction and the investment size. Now, number 3, if y'all thought the first 2 were brutal, the third one is incredibly brutal. Are y'all ready? Sit back. Sit back. All right. Drive Alert Training Academy says doing the bare minimum in a relationship eventually runs out and it's a roadway to disaster. People can't do the bare minimum. Do you know how hard this world is? Did y'all not see it's hard to live in Montgomery and just go on a family reunion or whatever they were doing, a class reunion? You can't even dock your boat without people trying to fight you, right? This world is hard, right? You can't even prepare for college without them going to get affirmative action, trying to sue venture capitalists for helping out Black folks when we're 1 to 2% of all venture capital firms. We can't even live in this country. You can't live in this world without stress. We don't even know what to do with COVID. Scientists are afraid to even speak up. Medical doctors are afraid because they don't want politicians calling them, threatening their license and putting pressure on them. People can't even tell the truth about what to do medically anymore because of politics. This world is hard. You think I want to come home to a hard marriage? Oh, now I get it. If you single, you be like, oh, I want a man. I want a woman. I want someone soft to rub up against. I want someone with hard body to rub against and feel secure and do life together. But if I have to move into this thing and be dissatisfied and do all the work, no, thank you. I'm straight. I'm good. Quoting my 7-year-old daughter, when I asked her if she wanted to get off of YouTube and do some work, she said, nah, I'm good. Now I snatched that doggone iPad. All right, she said, "No, I'm good." She thought it was funny. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, nobody. I see y'all with the folding chair. That was wrong. He need to go to jail for that. Anyway, let's stay on topic, right? All right. So number 3, the brutal piece. Woo! It's called quality of alternatives. So we have satisfaction level, investment, and the quality of alternatives, y'all. This is the brutal part. This is the part that I see in this office when I sit down and talk to couples one-on-one, meaning like I separate the couples and I talk to them separately as spouses. All right. People divorce or break up when they can do better than you, fam. When there's a woman out there looking at her husband, all right, and then looking at another guy. She's not talking to this other guy. She's just peeping him. And she's convinced that based on her husband's inability to satisfy her, an inability or unwillingness to invest in the marriage, that she could have another brother who actually believes in satisfying her, mind, body, and soul, and wants to invest and wants to have a family and wants to do couples goals and wants to make life dreams come true and wants to build legacy. She's thinking that her alternatives are attractive. If I broke up with this dude and I heal, I could date another. I could break up. If I'm Sierra, I could break up with my ex and I could get with Future. I don't need to stay in anything dysfunctional. If I'm Fantasia, I can break up with this toxic dude and I can go get me a man that's cool with me being Fantasia, who not insecure at all. That's gonna come to all of my concerts and be there with me and travel and have his own life separate from me and support me at the same time, and it does not mess with his manhood. I can have a better man. And there are men out there saying the same thing, like, "Ooh, I don't want to break my family apart, but the way you talk to me is so disrespectful. I can get another woman who can be soft and direct. She can keep me honest in what she needs in the marriage. She can say it so softly, I want to do it. She can say it so softly, I want to do it. She can say it so softly, I want to do it. I can be with a woman who wants to watch her tone. I can be with a woman who wants to build together. I can be with a woman who wants to make life dreams come true. I can be with a woman who wants to host family events, who wants to keep a clean house. I can be with a woman who wants to go half on the bills or half on the responsibilities. Or there's a man. I can be with a woman who's wildly successful in entrepreneurship and hold it down at home during her season where she's busy. Y'all, I'm raising my hand on that. My wife just got her dream job. I've held it home. She's back home now for a week, y'all. For a week, and then she's back out for a week. I'm holding it down with 3 kids at the beginning of school. Why? Because modern day marriage requires investment. I'm gonna invest in making sure home is taken care. That's no the genders don't matter anymore. If we both out there getting it, how can the house run if we both gone? Y'all feel me? I gotta make that sacrifice. I have to make that sacrifice. How I'm gonna do 3 sets of homework, I don't know. But we gonna figure that thing out. Pick up and drop off. Ooh, pray for me, right? But that allows sister girl to go out there and get that bag, go out there and do her life's calling, going out there and save lives. Right? What she's doing is gonna save lives. You feel me? All right, and I see you. You know, Sherelle, you saying that ego and that pride. We don't like hearing we're not meeting a standard. Zoran is saying, are doing what you want to do and think that it should be satisfactory to your partner without asking them is a no, 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 no. Quality of alternatives, y'all. So you need to make sure that you're the most attractive option to your spouse. There you go. That's gonna set you free. Or can another man date your wife better, fam? I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna punch you in love, play punch. You know what I'm saying? Can another man date your wife better? Let's have some territory, men. I know dogs pee on their territory, right? Men, we should have those same pheromones, right? Can another man date your wife better? You can't get mad if you feel like he can. You better tighten up. You don't think another man can romance your wife for the opportunity to make physical love to her? He can romance. You don't have time to take your wife out to dinner. You that busy, fam. Former President Barack Obama can date Michelle Obama, but you don't have time. You're busier than the President of the United States, who dated his wife through good times and bad, and they lived to see another day. You that busy. You busy than LeBron James and Steph Curry, right? Where they still date their wives, right? I'm just saying, you that busy that you can't sit down and talk to her for 15 minutes a day. And I get it. I'm busy too. I'm busy too. I'm busy too. I'm talking about you, and I'm also fussing at myself. How can I be that busy? I promise you, as fine as my wife is, as fine as you are, wives, respectful to your husband, as fine as you are, single ladies, when you get married, as fine as you are, do you know how many men will be like, watch out, let Jay-Z not go to therapy to figure out whatever he was doing wrong to Beyonce, to get rid of that cheating. Let him not go to therapy. Married men gonna be raising their hand like, look, I don't have that problem, Beyonce. I can be there. I can be faithful. Girl, you don't have to make a Lemonade album about me. All you gotta do is let me know what time you're gonna be home. I'm him. I don't have those problems. I don't have those problems, Beyonce. Call me. I'm telling you, pastors would be signing up like, it's Beyonce. Do you get what I'm saying? Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Ladies, can another woman come in and talk to your husband in a way that's respectful? Can another woman come in and treat that man like a king? Can another woman come in and actually tell him how to straighten up, how to level up in a way in which he can receive it and be like, thank you, the way Michelle did to Barack, the way Aisha did to Steph, right? In those times in which husbands need to hear the truth, can you say it in a manner in which your spouse can receive it? Now, some spouses can't receive it from anyone. They're not good at relationships. They're not going to be good for anyone. They're never going to be good at anyone. We can think of certain superstars. I won't say their names. They're never going to be good in marriage. They're just not good at marriage. Anyone that's in a relationship is going to get played. You feel me? All right. So two. All right. So one, my alternatives are attractive. This is what people think. Quality of alternatives. So my alternatives are attractive. I can date another. Or being by myself is better than being with you. Two, my alternatives to this relationship are close to ideal. Meaning I don't have to lose income. I might gain a better father. Russell Wilson. I might gain a better father to my children than the one I left. My my comeback game is actually ideal. This other brother that I'm dating, 401k plan, is superior to whatever I lost in divorce. I lost 50% 401k, but I gained 50% of a 401k that was 10x what my ex had. I'm real good. Same thing, ladies. All right. Husbands, like, oh man, I just got me something finer. I got me someone more respectful, someone that's like, what do you need? Someone that's like, look, when we argue, she is actually pulling out the candles and pouring some tea and like, baby, let's talk about this in a civil way. I can't have you talking to me. We need to resolve this. Let's do this right now. Baby, sit down, take a load off, and we need to resolve this issue. I'm gonna tell you one more time, baby, I need to feel important to you. And the husband's like, now that's the way you should check me. Coming home and rubbing a man's foot, getting his slippers in the winter, men coming home and having a fire waiting on your wife because and the kids fed and homework is going because they work longer hours than you and you're just being considerate and making sure your wife doesn't have to come home after a 13-hour shift and do all this kind of stuff and be burnt out, and then you tapping her on the leg for sex at night and she refusing, you get mad. uh, uh-uh. Can you be better? Number three, if I weren't dating my spouse, I would do fine. I would find another appealing. Those are the three questions when they drill down, y'all. According to the research, this is what found people wanting to break. You get it. So the opposite is, can you be the best quality? Can you be the best mate for your spouse? Can you be best? When your wife says, nah, dating another dude would be a drop off. My husband and I may not be perfect, but the way he treats me, I would only downgrade. Same thing. Same thing. Husbands, I could go date another, but the way my wife treats me, it would be a downgrade. I'd be stepping down. I'd be looking down. I'd be scraping the bottom of the barrel, y'all. I'd be getting the burnt crust versus the top of the apple cobbler. You feel what I'm saying? I'm getting the burnt part of the peach cobbler when I had a top with the ice cream and cherry on top. I had a mother of my children, my wife, who I had vows with. I'd leave her and I'd be out here in these streets with a woman speaking broken English to my children. I can't do that. I'm gonna make it work. No, you have a man that's tired and gets up on his own and goes to work and pulls a double if the kids need tuition or you need anything, even though he is tired. And you date a dude, you gotta wake him up and say, are you going to work today? He's sleeping on the couch when you going out the door, and he didn't have a problem with that. You gonna scrape the battle of the barrel? Come on. No, you have a man that's willing to go to church and pray with you, pray over you, apologize, and you don't get with a dude that shuts down for 3 days. And when he gets upset, that's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do. But if you're that dude, if you're the shutter downer, if you're the dude that does not work, if you're the woman that has your hand all up in this man's face, disrespectful, don't listen, Don't regard him. Don't admire him. Don't make love to him. If you're a man that believes that sex is not about romance, you don't get your wife started up early in the morning. You don't consider her feelings. You don't anticipate sister girl's needs in advance. You know her. You've been married to her for years, and you don't know what she needs. You didn't anticipate. You don't switch things up. Ladies, you don't know that y'all been having physical relations the same way for 3 months. You don't think to switch it up. You don't think to go blonde. You don't think to get the braids. You don't think to play dress up. You don't think to play gangster when you come. Y'all get what I'm saying? You don't think to switch it up. Like, look, babe, you know what? You cooked every week for the first 2 months of school. Don't even worry about it. If I can afford it, I'm bringing in some meals. Where Uber Eats, getting a chef just to come in and cook 2 nights a week, or take some load off, or don't even worry about it. You know what? You're cleaning up all the time, baby. I hired a maid. I got a raise at work. I hired a maid so that you don't have to spend your time sweeping and dusting and doing these things. You can go luxuriate yourself. You can go take a bath so you can get ready for daddy, get ready for zaddy. And you go out with your friends. I'll watch the kids go. We'll get a babysitter. You feel what I'm saying? Come on, ladies. Come on. You want to watch the game? Go ahead. Go ahead. You work hard. You should watch the game. I'm gonna fix you some wings, so you can watch the game and enjoy it. And I got you a sound bar so that you can have surround sound, right? And I'm gonna wear your favorite Eagles jersey dress and walk by so you see what's popping, right? At halftime, I understand you're gonna watch the game. I want you to be satisfied. You feel what I'm saying? Come on, man. Man, you realize you're in your 40s, right? And if your wife is in her late 30s or 40s, you realize her level of libido is here, and your level of libido is here. And you get in that gym. She don't have to tell you to do push-ups, sit-ups, squats. Hello. She don't have to tell you to do squats. Your wife should have to tell you to do squats. You know when you can't do something. I see a question that I just saw it come through, right? I see you. You said, what if the guy says he likes thick women, but you know you're on the slender side? Do you leave? Listen, I think when men are attracted to you, they are attracted to you. Now they have the right, just like you have the right, to talk about what you're attracted to. That's level of satisfaction. But if a guy is just straight superficial, right, and that's that he can't come off that, it's better to just ask him. Listen, I'm more comfortable at this weight, and you want me at this weight. Either we meet in the middle, if that works for both of us, or we go our separate ways, right? Right. And trust me, like husbands, like we really talking about a husband, they like your heart. Yes, they like the way you look, just the way you look, just the same way you like us to look. People really do sleep on modern day marriages about how important physical attractiveness is to women. Guys, I'm just gonna be honest with you. We are slipping. If you go to like college reunions, high school reunions, and you look at men versus female, it's the ladies out there that are looking good, and we gotten fat. Like, we're not taking care of our health. Ladies want something good to hold on to. I'm just keeping it a buck with you. All right. So don't get mad. Like you guys that are not taking care of your physical health and you're not taking care of your appearance. Listen, it's a modern day. It's okay. We can go to the spa. We can put on sunscreen. We can go to the esthetician. We can do a little something. Man, we secure in our manhood to give our. We can go to the gym and get it right and get it tight for our spouse. You see what I'm saying? Come on now. I'm trying to help you out. So the quality of alternatives. I see another question coming from Z. It said, what do you do about the spouse that proclaims that you cannot find anyone better, even though you tell them that you're not satisfied? All right. All right. So this is what I'd say. And this is specifically for not this apply to men and women. Apply to men and women. All right. Is I can show you better than I can tell you. Have you ever heard the saying, some things can be taught and some things can be caught? Some things can be taught and some things can be caught. Move differently. You have to move like you're dissatisfied in the marriage. You have to move like you're dissatisfied. What does that look like? When you move like you're dissatisfied, that means your husband goes in to kiss you and you pull back. I know y'all saying that's disrespectful. No, it's not. It's called being real if you don't feel connected, right? And he's like, "Babe, what you doing?" You say, "Hey, baby, I'm upset. Like, I asked to go out to dinner. I'm tired of cooking on a regular basis. Does not make me feel romantic. Does not make me feel cared about. I also don't feel like dinner is romantic with the kids sitting right here at dinner because I'm pretty much managing the kids at dinner. I want to sit down and have a conversation one on one with you. That's romantic to me. And when you come in and you kiss me, and I know nothing has been planned, that kiss feels fake. So I'm not trying to be disrespectful to you, babe. I'm just letting you know that's how I feel. I'm never gonna be fake with you. I'm never gonna be fake with you. So I have to let you know that's what's real. So you have to move. Same thing. So ladies, move differently. Just every day, I'll tell you it's one word that really hurt, two words that hurt men, that hurt our feelings and make us want to change. Two words. I'm gonna get this to you. Fellas, don't get mad at me. I'm trying to save all our relationships. One is the D word. I'm disappointed. And the cousin of disappointed is actually even worse. It's inadequacy. This relationship is inadequate for me. That makes us feel terrible. That you even suggest that I'm inadequate, but you have to drop that I and that D word before you drop the divorce word. Baby, this is inadequate. This is inadequate dating for me. This is inadequate amount and quality of love making for me. This is an inanimate amount of temperance in the house. I require my man. Let me watch my language, right? I need my man to be cool, calm, and collect when we're talking. Because when you start storming off and you start getting mad, and I have to worry about protecting myself from you, who protects me from my protector? No, that's inadequate. I need you to have an adequate amount of composure when you're talking to me. Plus, it's not sexy, it's not manly for you throwing stuff and busting a hole in the wall. And I'm not downing us. We get upset, we get frustrated, we have a lot of rage, we have a lot of trauma, but that's not manly. How can we expect women to submit with us when we out of control ourselves? Why would you submit to someone who's out of control? That's like us, and it's like if we're submitting to these driverless cars and the car starts driving crazy. What makes you think we're not gonna grab the wheel and steer that thing ourselves if it's driving erratic? We can't be erratic men, and that same thing goes for you, ladies. I'm trying to keep it honest. Just because he's your husband doesn't mean you can say what you want to say and hurt his feelings with your words and out talk him and over talk him and correct his English when he's trying to express himself. You ask him to open up, and the minute he opens up, you chop him up like a karate sword. You can't do that like a samurai. And then you wonder why that man shuts down. Yeah, that man said, "Okay, I tried to open up and you chop me up like that. Good luck getting me to open up again. I'm done. We good." No, no, that's not gonna happen. I can tell you that traumatized a lot of men. I've been in that kind of relationship. Right? I was shocked the first time it happened. I'm like, I ain't know women with this disrespect. I ain't never ever been in a relationship where a woman would say X, Y, and Z, and I'd be like, "Yo, chill, calm down, take a breath," and you pump up like a dude. Like, no, I'm not gonna chill. I said what I said. What you gonna do about it? Ooh, the minute you become a man in a relationship, you don't need me. The minute you become a man and not a strong woman in a relationship, you don't need me. Can't be two dudes. Can't be two dudes. Fam, can you get me? Can't be two dudes. Now, you can be a strong woman and check me. Soft and direct. Like, look, babe, hey, if you don't, Aldo, if you don't stop with those mannerisms, we're gonna have a problem, baby. Baby, put your hands down and talk to me calmly. You can talk to me like that. And I need to be talked to like that. Or you can even give me a look. All right, that's cool. I want a strong woman. I don't want a puppet. I don't want anyone that can run over. But you gonna if you gonna dude on me, that ain't sexy. You feel me? So y'all, let me recap. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. So we get to move differently. All right, and you have to let them know. When you give them a rating of 1 to 10 in these categories: satisfaction, investment level, and quality of alternatives, right? We're gonna rate each one of those, right? And the last one for quality of alternatives is basically about, hey, we're rating how good you are at being the best. Are you the best? No, give them a grade, maybe not a number, but A, B, C, D, F. Compared to other men, you romance me. Oopsie, men gonna be offended. Oh my god, and my wife did that a C. I may not even be romantic, but I want to be more romantic because I don't want to be average. When it comes to composing yourself when we're disagreeing with things, I'm gonna give you a D. A D. Ooh, what? You saying more men are more composed than I am? I have to step that up. You get what I'm saying? Hey, when it comes to respect compared to women I've dated, you're a D. Whoa, wait, whoa, whoa. There's a different way to be respectful. So that's the way you do it and say, hey, babe, I just want you to be the best version. Because otherwise, here's the psychology of it. When your man or your woman, your significant other is aware that the rating is low, you rating them as a D or a 3 or a 4 out of 10, best believe they're going to be insecure. Yeah, I mean, and if your man can't handle it, then they're not gonna change anyway. If a woman can't handle it, they're not gonna change it. But you say it softly. And here's, you know what? Hey, Lou, I'm glad you asked me that question. Let me go back and give a better answer before I close. This is called priming, y'all. This is called priming. April, I appreciate y'all buying bad. Craig and April, I appreciate y'all buying badges, right? Thank you. Um, I thank you for the super stickers too. All right. But let me tell you this. It's called priming really quickly. Priming is where, babe, if something was on my mind, if I had something on my mind, would you rather me keep it to myself or tell you? You rather me tell you, right? And they say yes. All right. That's prime number one. Number two, number two. All right, baby. If what I want to tell you was something that I need more in a relationship, would you rather me keep it to myself or tell you? All right, because if I keep it to myself, I'm just gonna be moody and angry and upset. And you're gonna say, "Why didn't you tell me?" Thank you, traveling um, uh, PA. I appreciate the badge, right? So if it's about you, would you want me to tell you, and then do the third prime? So the first one is you want me to open up about how I feel. Two, do you want me to open up about something I want you to change? Get permission first, and then three, if I open up about what I want you to change, the only way I'm going to do this again is if you respond appropriately. So I don't want you to get upset because you asked me to tell you the truth, and I always want to be transparent. Marriages are not always going to be perfect. I want to let you know last night you had opportunities in the bedroom to please me in places you ain't touch. Woo, men gonna be offended. Ladies are gonna be offended to a degree, but it's better than you saying nothing than you sitting in the bed and just go like this and have no reaction. Or your wife goes to touch you and you're like, I'm good, and you go watch porn, or you go on Instagram, you scrolling always someone else's feed because the intimacy is not there. They don't know how to bring the smoke. They don't know how to get the juices and berries flowing. They don't understand the pathway to desire through you. For ladies is all day being nice and anticipating needs and whispering sweet nothings. And even though modern day women, it might be just get to it, touch me in the right place. And for men, it's like, look, desire me. Come, let me know I'm attractive. Make the first move or just look good out. That's looking good is making the first move. You feel me? Let's go. I mean, we the hell come. Hey, babe, you know what? There are some opportunities I think you could have made to secure our family. I am anxious that we don't have life insurance and your health is terrible. I'm scared that if you peel over as an entrepreneur with this poor health care that we have, babe, we need to go to that gold plan. I know it's $47 more a month. I know it's $120 more a month. But babe, we need to go to the gold plan. I'm sorry, babe. We need to go see a life insurance agent. Matter of fact, first of all, we need to get your weight down. You gotta stop eating all that pork. You gotta you start drinking some more water and do the things I ask you to do because I need you here. Babe, I want to make love to you, but since we had children, you put on an extra 30 and I'm rocking with you, but I really like you. Minus 15, minus 30. My level of satisfaction with your body is 8. Don't say 6. Even though that might be babe, would you rather me tell you? I know you don't get upset. Would you rather me tell you or just refuse you every time you touch me? I don't want to do that. Can y'all get it, y'all? Because it's just gonna come out in the divorce. It's just gonna come out. It's just gonna come out later, and it's gonna feel worse. Because like I don't understand, and that's why I want y'all to have these real conversations. That's why I say don't let it get to a 7. Y'all know my wife has a weight limit for me. I have my own weight limit, but my wife has her own weight limit. I have my own weight limit where I feel I look good. My wife, I'm like, babe, what's your weight? That's a signal. When she asked me that, I need to look at it. And she said, you know what I like? Is it not my responsibility to be the body that my wife likes? Come on now. Is it not my responsibility to be the intellectual conversation that my wife likes? Is it not my responsibility? It's not your responsibility as wives to be the soft, delicate flower that your man wants at times. Is it not Your responsibility as a wife to be able to set the house into a home if that's what he likes. Is it not your responsibility both ways? Aren't we responsible for satisfying our spouses? Isn't that our job? Another man should never be able to satisfy my wife the same way I do from all overall satisfaction. Right? She should not. She should tell me, and I should make the adjustments. And the same thing. Another man should not be able to satisfy my wife. Another man should not come in and make more investments in my marriage than I did when I was married to my wife. Right? And in summary, we deserve to be the best choice for our spouse to marry. We should never be in a marriage where someone else would be a better spouse. Like you married to him, but it'd be better off if you married Russell Wilson. Be married better off married to Savannah, LeBron James' wife. But you don't want to be in a marriage when someone else can come in and do those three things better. So y'all got it. You do those three things in a marriage, in a relationship, as you're dating towards marriage, you're gonna be rock solid. All right. Y'all got, let me pray for y'all. Lord God, we thank you, Lord. We thank you, Lord, for singles, engaged, married and complicated, divorced and thinking about getting married again. Now that they say, oh, if it's just these three things, I can stack these three things in my favor as I redate and date again to make sure that I have a marriage that never gets below a 7 out of 10 in quality and how it feels. Lord, we ask and pray that you bless them, allow them to move forward, make the radical shifts, make the adjustments, use this as reminders, send this to their spouses. Lord God, we just thank you, Lord, for all that you've done so that we can not only have great marriages, but we can have great marriages that feel good. We can have marriages that feel good, that are great, and it feels great to be in the marriage. We're satisfied in the marriage and with the marriage. Woo, we like being in the marriage and we're satisfied with the marriage. Woo, thank you, Lord. So, Lord God, we just ask and pray that you have your way. These things we ask in Jesus' holy name. All right, y'all take care, and I'll see y'all on Wednesday. Take care. God bless, and let's do those three things. Make sure you're the best lovers possible. Take care.